All right, we are going.
I gotta remember to look in the camera.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to Campfires on Dagobah, a Star Wars podcast. We are talking spoilers, possibly, but spoilers for Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker. You know who I am. And gentlemen, introduce yourselves.
I'm Andy the Hut.
Andy the Hut.
And I'm Carter.
Hey, Carter, what's going on? All right. So somebody seems that they're actually we have people actually watching us on a big TV screen.
Right, cool.
So that is awesome.
Nice. The bigger the better.
All right. So let me just set this up real quick, gentlemen. Star Wars Episode 9. How do you feel now that it's finally out? Who wants to take that? Who wants to go first?
I feel a little bit relieved. It's finally here.
You relieved yourself?
No, not in that way.
Okay.
But no, it's really been an anticipation.
Okay.
I've been really anticipating it, but now that it's here, I'm just kind of digest it, let it simmer in my mind, let me think about what really happened. I gotta say it more than a couple more times on the theater. I've only seen it once so far. Y'all seen it twice.
Yes,
but,
we actually just got done watching Star Wars Episode 9.
You're all the lucky ones, but yeah, I definitely want to go see it again because the first time you see a movie like this, you're kind of analyzing things. What happens here? What's going on? You can't really sit back and relax and watch the movie like you normally would.
Sure.
So another time or two, then I'll be kind of like,
okay. Andy, how about you, man? What's going on? We just got done watching it.
Yes.
For a second time?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts? How did you like watching the movie with me sitting next to you? I mean, I was crying. Not creeped out, but I was. There was a point in the movie, which we'll get into that, where I was sobbing. I was.
No, you
really
weren't sobbing. When I first saw it, and I don't know if we want to say when this happened, but when one of the characters come back, I was sobbing. And it was the quiet moments. I was like,
yeah.
I'm sorry, Carter.
I think we're talking about the same moment.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
We're gonna spoil it, so I might as well say.
So, spoiler alert, guys. We're going into the unknown regions.
Yeah.
It's when we get to see Han.
Oh,
as soon as I heard his voice, I was like,
what I heard?
What?
That was actually a kid. That wasn't Harrison Ford saying that. That was Mark Hamill's voice dubbed over it.
Oh, really?
To make it sound like it was Mark Hamill.
Really?
That's what I heard.
I knew it was.
They do that? I mean,
they kind of throw you off that it was because
Mark
everybody's.
Hamill does a great Harrison Ford. Though.
Harrison Ford was there. Why would he not do his own voice?
I think it was to kind of just throw everybody off thinking that was Luke because it sounded like a Luke a little bit.
It sounded like Han to me, and I was like, oh,
hey, kid.
Yeah, and I was just like
talking about kids.
And then the rest of the scene with him, especially, there are all kinds of throwbacks to the movie, and at the very end, when he's like, "I'm gonna tear up," and he goes, "Dad," and he goes, "Oh no," I was like, "Oh,
yeah, that was a little.
Like, oh my god,
that was a little on the nose when he said "Dad." But talking about kids, real quick, there's a request. Midget, my niece Ava, hello, you're watching. Thank you for watching. Andy, Carter.
Can you see that? I can see that.
All right. So we'll just kind of keep going. I sobbed. The one part of the movie. I mean, we'll start at the beginning. Start at the very beginning.
Fresh in your mind, y'all go ahead because I'm still a little.
I'm relieved that it's out and that it's good and that it answers questions that we had. And I was,
okay, let's start with the opening crawl.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that.
All right.
I was so excited when it came out that started that I forgot to read the crawl.
No, really?
It's like, let's go. Oh, I caught. Oh, damn it.
So you didn't catch the very, very beginning.
Not all of it. I caught a little bit. I was like, oh, okay, they're looking for Palpatine, or
I think the very first line is, was it a voice from the dead?
Yeah, I can actually pull up the crawl if you want me to.
Yeah.
All right.
But
Eva says hi, hello.
a voice from the dead broadcast across the galaxy.
Okay.
And Emperor Palpatine, somehow or the other, uses the Force to talk to everybody in the galaxy. I forgot what the rest is.
There we go.
Nope.
No?
Rise of Skywalker. Where's the crawl? I don't see.
Go back up.
No, that was for Last Jedi.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Chris, we're at King's Landing, Chris. By the way, we're at King's Landing in Waco doing the podcast show. So if any of you guys are in Waco area, come on out and check out King's Landing. They got pretty cool video games. Also next door is Bankston's where Carter works, and it's a really cool comic books shop, and it's kicking. And I mean, there's cool sports memorabilia in there if you're into that too as well. So definitely go and check that out. All right. So the opening crawl starts off with saying, "The dead speak. The galaxy has heard a mysterious broadcast, a threat of revenge in the sinister voice of the late Emperor Palpatine. General Leia Organa dispatches secret agents to gather intelligence, while Rey, the last hope of Jedi, trains for battle against the diabolical First Order. Meanwhile, Supreme Leader Kylo Ren rages in search of the Phantom Emperor, determined to destroy any threat to his power."
... Ellipsis.
How does that make you? How does that make you feel?
So Kylo Ren is all about destroying anything in his way, anything that might be a threat, destroying the past. I mean, that's why he got rid of Snoke.
Yeah.
Yes.
The last one.
Yep.
So we found out that, and why he killed his father.
Yeah.
What? I'm sure he would have killed Leia if he had the opportunity. If he's still,
What do you guys think? Do you think Kylo Ren would have killed Leia if he had the opportunity? I'm watching the live chat, so go ahead and write in there and ask your questions.
Well, I mean, he sort of kind of tried because he was the one that was firing on her ship in The Last Jedi, right?
Yes, he was.
Blew her out in space.
He hesitated, and then
And
the other TIE fighter.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
What did you think that is this the first time? Yeah, this is the first time any of the Star Wars movies hasn't started with a space battle. And I'm not talking about Rogue One. Rogue One doesn't start with it. I'm talking about in the main.
Empire Strikes Back didn't start with space battle.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Return of the Jedi didn't start with space battle.
Phantom Menace didn't. It was the blockade, right?
You're right. I am.
Well, they all begin in space over some kind of planet or something.
Right.
Yeah.
You're more than welcome to come on out if you're watching, Chris, and come out and talk.
Russell says no. Kylo is a total mama's boy.
Yeah. Never mind. I guess I am absolutely wrong. But okay, I should say every Star Wars movie kind of starts off with, "Why do you keep digging in your ear?"
That's what Russell.
Yeah, I saw that.
What did you think about the Knights of Ren and being introduced to them, but with no backstory at all?
Yeah, that was kind of interesting. It might entice me more to read the comic series about Kylo Ren just came out.
Actually, I have it right over there.
Right.
So
I think they'll give a little more background on
okay.
what that is.
Sure.
What they are. I'm sure there's going to be some kind of book at some point.
Do you think so?
Yeah, a regular novel. Or something.
Yeah. Oh, hold on.
That was in my show notes. Is as to the unexplained and what doesn't get answered is, who are the Knights of Ren?
Yeah, that's one of the unanswered questions. But
does that make you mad that it's an unanswered question, or does that make you kind of?
I mean, it's kind of like Boba Fett. You really know much about Boba Fett before or after the movie, other than he
Right.
caught Han Solo.
It doesn't make me mad. I mean, I would have liked to known, have that question answered.
Yeah.
If they're the handful of students that he took with him when Kylo left Luke's temple,
Sure.
But in the flashback scene, you see Kylo stand. Well, he's got his new lightsaber, and he's got the Knights of Ren behind him. So that's probably later on anyway. So never mind that tangent.
So let's go into the next thing, because that starts off as a little montage. Being introduced to Sheev Palpatine right there in the opening of the movie. How did that make you feel? Were you expecting to see him that early on?
No, I wasn't.
Really?
Yeah.
How about you?
I was actually surprised by the crawl, because it's I don't know how long later it is, but it's like the dead speak.
Yeah.
Emperor Palpatine's voice.
Palpatine.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay.
Sounds like one of those old 1930, 40 serials, the kind of intro.
Yeah.
The dead speak.
I was kind of mad that when we saw Palpatine, he wasn't all. What's the word I'm looking for?
Snoked out.
No, not complete, but he's all wrinkled out.
Yeah.
His skin was very Ian McDermott, and I mean, I guess his eyes wasn't.
Yeah.
There, they were whited out.
It was kind of like a embryo.
Yeah.
As an adult.
Oh yeah.
And not completely formed.
So I mean, that didn't bother me too much.
Yeah.
It's a montage. Thank you, Russell. Airway.
What's
So
the montage?
the beginning.
Oh.
The Knights of Ren.
Oh yeah.
So
Chris
was saying I told y'all he was in the opening scene. Yes, you did.
I forgot my homeboy Chris said that he thought the Emperor was creepy as hell.
Really?
Yeah.
What did you think? You thought he was creepy?
Yeah, he was definitely creepy. My son saw him. And he was like, I was kind of scared at the end of the movie.
Really?
Yeah, he was getting freaked out by some of that stuff.
What did you think about the introduction to Rey in this movie? Was that a better introduction to her?
Training.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was pretty cool. I thought what was really interesting is who was training her.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes, the black sheep in the room. Let's
Yeah.
talk about that real quick.
Okay.
Leia.
Yes.
As we know, the late Carrie Fisher passed away, 2016? 2016 on December 27th. She passed away. So they used old footage from Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, and they kind of cut her out and put her in this movie. One thing that makes me mad is everybody saying they didn't use CGI. Well, yeah, they did. They CGI.
Yeah, a little bit.
They used
Some
CGI.
of it, definitely.
Oh yeah.
Put arms around her and things like that.
And they used body doubles, obviously.
Just put her head on certain, body doubles. So
Yeah.
And definitely at the end when she's younger, a flashback scene.
Yes, we'll get into that. That looks pretty cool.
But all in all, I thought it was pretty good.
Did it take
For
you?
what they had? It didn't really take me out.
No.
But I mean, I was trying not to let it take me out because I was watching. So let's see how it perfectly fits in with this. So maybe next viewing, I won't notice it quite as much.
Right.
But
How about you? How did you feel watching?
It didn't take me out at all. First viewing, I usually go in and I turn everything off and I can enjoy the movie.
Right.
I don't really
that's
try.
hard for me to do.
I can't. Yeah.
Turn it off.
It's hard for me to try and I don't know. I don't know what the word that I'm using, but no, we're not all CGI elitists, Dom.
Elitist.
He's real bad about it. The CGI just took me way out. It was horrible.
Sometimes, yeah, I am. So the first time going in and watching the movie, seeing Carrie Fisher, it was nice to see her. It was nice to see Leia. But now going back and watching it a second time, you can definitely see they were working around her, if that makes sense.
Working out what kind of lines she spoke.
Right, because the lines almost didn't. Some of the lines that she was saying really wasn't. What's the word I'm looking for?
Didn't fit the.
They didn't
scene.
Didn't fit the context on what is going on around them. And I don't know if you noticed it today, because this time I went in not so much to enjoy the movie, but to kind of analyze it so we can talk about it on the show.
Yeah.
They didn't really line up Carrie Fisher's eye sometimes with Rey.
Okay.
If you notice,
I didn't notice
if you
that.
notice, she's looking past Rey at some times.
Okay.
But a lot of it.
She's a Skywalker. She's always looking to the horizon. No, I'm just kidding.
But
That's her brother.
that's her brother.
That's her brother.
It says Leia scenes took me out of the movie because it didn't look right. Should have just recast. How would you have felt if they recast her?
I think that would have been a huge
A lot of people have
backlash.
been upset.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Why is that?
I don't know. It's because we've known Leia since 1977.
Yeah.
Longer than some of us have been alive.
Yeah, that is true.
I would have rather them just cut out
Oh yeah.
totally than recast.
Yeah.
Would you have had her die before the movie? They put her in the opening crawl.
I think that's
Yeah.
one way to do it. Put her in the crawl.
Say General Leia's suddenly passed because of some phenomenon or something. Maybe.
Yeah, it would. It would have made harder for the way that the plot unfolds. So my bad. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Just reach across and backhand me.
Well, no, because I might catch some of that at the back end.
You might get like some spittle.
Yeah.
Russell says, I thought it worked okay. The CG was good, so it didn't take me out of the story.
That's good. I should have wrote down notes, but I really didn't. So even though this isn't much of like a review, I mean, it's kind of a review, and we're going to take it step by step, I guess.
We're just kind of going off the cuff a little bit.
Yeah. No special notes or anything for this type of show. Recast would have been sent to charge. I'm not sure what that means either. What if they had like Meryl Streep as Leia? I wouldn't have been mad with that. I think that would have worked. Meryl Streep, she's around the same age as Carrie Fisher, maybe a little bit older.
I don't know how serious.
You know what I did notice?
What if Judi Dench's furry paw ended up in
Judi Dench, dude.
That's another
picture,
story.
Could you imagine Judi Dench as Princess Leia in
my
episode
gosh.
9?
Not really.
How bad would have that been?
All right. Thanks.
God, what was I saying? Oh, so for those of you who don't know, Billie Lourd, she is Carrie Fisher's daughter.
Yes.
So she's been in the episode 7, 8, and 9. But did you notice once Carrie Fisher died, Billie Lourd wasn't in any of the scenes?
Wasn't she at the end scene, the celebration scene?
She was at the celebration scene,
Yeah.
Was she?
but she wasn't when.
She's the one that helps her off when Leia's going to bed.
Yeah, she helps her out.
Yeah, but you don't really see her until the celebration.
Right.
Yeah.
But did they show Oh yeah, they did show Leia.
Yeah.
Because she was kind of hunched over, right?
Yeah. That was probably a body double.
No. I think it might have been a body double, but what I think that was from her feeling Han die from episode 7.
Oh, okay.
So that's why I think it shows her carrying her off.
Yeah. In grief,
Yeah. What do you guys think about her being an all black shadow when she lays down to rest?
I mean, it didn't
Leia.
bother me if that's what you're asking.
Like they had her in dark calling out the Kylo. And then she falls back and her hand drops, and the camera like pans around.
I thought that was okay.
Yeah.
I think I had to figure out a way for her to pass.
Right.
Just before we get off the Carrie subject, is my favorite part in the training scene is probably towards the end when Ray calls her master.
Yes.
I was like, oh, that's so
Don't ever underestimate a droid.
Never underestimate a droid.
So we got some people going up in the chat. She's at the memorial. No, the memorial at the end. She was there at the celebration at the end, but she wasn't there when they're like, "Oh, she's dead," and everybody's kind of standing there.
When she's got the
blanket over her.
yeah.
Yeah, she wasn't in that scene.
I can't remember if she
because
was or not.
I made sure to look at everybody directly that was standing there. Billy Lord wasn't there.
Well, I have to check it out.
Yeah, I think it's also interesting too in this movie. Billy Lord almost matches Carrie Fisher's wardrobe. Have you noticed that?
I didn't notice the.
Ooh, almost spilled that.
What? Russell.
What'd he say? What'd he say?
I don't know if you can read it before it goes.
I don't know. She's in that Old Navy pajamas commercial.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's a great commercial.
That is Billy Lord.
Russell sent it straight to me.
Oh,
Can you see it?
man.
I thought the camera only added 10 pounds.
Jesus. Let's go to the next death that
Oh, can
made me
I
cry.
forgot to go back by one.
Oh, sure.
When we saw Palpatine, was it you and me that were looking at Ian McDiarmid's interview?
Oh, I think that was you, me, and Chris.
Yeah, and the egg, it looked like the egg was in the background.
The
I was
baby
looking for the egg the whole
Baby
time,
Yoda.
and I thought I saw it. It looks like the back of it, but it just looks round. You can't really tell that it's the egg or not.
Maybe. I'm kind of mad at this. Chewie's.
Sorry, guys, I'm all over the place because I took shorthand notes. Like it's got Billy's hair on there, and that's one thing that I noticed is she had Leia's indoor hair.
Yep,
on this episode.
Okay.
she did. So we're just going through and talking about our quick little beats, and then we'll go back and kind of talk about some other things. Chewie's death in the movie.
Yeah. Oh, that. I was like, I was just waiting for that to come, and is this it? Is this it?
Yeah.
And I was like,
How'd that make you feel as soon as you saw it?
I don't know. I felt like it's gonna take a lot for me to process.
Really?
I was like, oh man. And they didn't let you linger on it for too long.
Yeah.
I'm mad about that.
I thought
Why?
I thought that was going to be, 30, 45 minutes later or something when he comes back, if at all.
Yeah.
I
kind of like it that they did it that way.
It was
Why?
maybe 10
Because
minutes,
you don't lose hope. Because when it happened, you and Chris, I think, kind of, I don't know if you did, because when you saw it, but Chris kind of hinted at it, and I was like, when it happened, I was like flabbergasted. I didn't scream out or anything. I was like, huh? And then I was like, no.
I cried.
No.
Reagan,
Please
I sat
don't.
next to Reagan,
Yeah.
and I cried my eyes out. I am
The whole time until they reveal that didn't really happen. I was in denial, and I was like, no.
in
They gotta
denial.
bring it back. They gotta bring it back. And then they did. And at that point I was like, I almost like blurted out in the theater, oh, thank you, Jesus. Because it was such a relief. I was like, oh.
It was kind of even more emotional when Chewbacca found out about Leia. That's when I kind of
When Chewie screamed,
oh my gosh, I was like,
Yeah.
I can't even do his.
yeah. 'Cause he threw a bigger tantrum than when Han got. When Han got killed in Force Awakens. So
I think that was JJ's way of fixing that, because when Han died, didn't Chewie just walk past Leia like it didn't even bother him?
No, I mean he
I know
screamed.
what you're talking
You know what I'm talking about, right?
We're talking about when they get back to the plant the resistance base.
Oh yeah.
No, but
And when Han dies, Chewie just
Chewie-
walks past Leia, and Leia embraces Rey.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That, and I think that's a little bit of all the fans' reaction a little bit too. We lost the princess. We lost our princess.
yeah.
And as far as was Chewie following Finn or something when in The Force Awakens when Han dies?
Chewie's kind of on his own. He was up higher up. Finn and Rey.
I mean, because Finn was hurt at that point, right? And they're taking him off to. Oh
We're
no!
talking about after they leave the base.
Yeah, when he walks past Leia, it seems like he was following somebody or something. I can't remember.
I don't remember.
I'm gonna have to watch it again.
Again, you want to go watch it again tonight?
Oh no, I'm talking about Force Awakens.
Oh, okay. So Chewie died. Yeah, I'm mad because this movie moves so fast where it's boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
I would like a little bit of time for that to linger, because Chewie dies, and then it goes to what scene comes after that.
I'm trying to board this one.
No. Okay, so he dies, right? And it shows everybody all upset and kind of get back to the ship. And then immediately it's the
Then
next.
Ray takes off after Kylo.
I think so. I think that's how it goes. Maybe, Chris, maybe you can correct us.
I know that there's a scene in there where they're talking. Finn and Rey are talking, and then they figure out that the information from the dagger is still in C-3PO's head.
Right. And then the next scene it shows Chewie captured.
Yeah.
And then it goes to what's it called? Chewie would have died for nothing. For nothing if we don't do this.
Yeah.
I feel like as a story should be those scenes of discovering that C-3PO still has the dagger. Chewie didn't die for nothing, and then I think it would have been interesting not to learn that Chewie was still alive until Rey is in Kylo's headquarters and she sees Chewie's belt and his gun, his blaster.
Mm-hmm.
I think then that would have been like, oh.
That's the whole reason that they went on to the destroyer, because Chewie was there.
Right, to go save him.
Yeah.
But I feel like they could have found a little bit better way to get on that ship.
Because as far as they know, the dagger was destroyed with Chewie.
Right.
Yeah. And like you said, everything happened so fast.
The
first time that I watched it, I had no idea. I was like, "How did Chewie survive?" And I wrote it down in my notes.
But there's
and
two
then they
ships.
explain it. They explain it twice. Actually, they say it when they reveal Chewie to be alive with the First Order. They're like, there was a second transport and that yielded us a prisoner. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
And then. When they find out Chewie's alive, right before they go to raid the Star Destroyer, they're like, there must have been a second transport, which I completely and totally missed the first time around.
Right.
I have a question.
Sure.
Okay, this happens early on in the film, and then it's revisited several times throughout, especially in the end. I'm going to call it forced transmigration.
Forced transmigration. That's a tongue twister.
Like when
Yeah,
Kylo grabs Rey's necklace to find out that they're on.
Oh yeah, the transfer of physical items.
Yeah, I wanted to say teleportation, but I was like, no, transmigration sounds better. But
Migration.
trying to be a smart ass.
Yeah.
But what are your notes on it? Who were we waving to?
Oh, I was just waving. Somebody asked me to wave to him, so I was waving. Sorry. Keep going. Yeah, the bunny ears.
So what were y'all's thoughts on that?
Interesting.
Yeah, it almost took me out a little bit. I was like,
Really?
Because of course they did it in The Last Jedi, and
Except there wasn't a transfer of physical object.
at the end, Luke gives Leia Han's dice off of the Millennium Falcon.
Oh, the dice disappeared.
Does it?
Yes, it
Oh,
does.
it did? Oh, okay. But she had it though physically, or at least it seemed like she did. That's crazy that it disappeared.
Mm-hmm. Somebody asked a question, but I think I'm going to save it for the end
Okay.
because it's a really good question.
Okay.
All right.
I do have another note.
Go for it, man.
Okay. This isn't so much a note or any kind of I'm tongue tied today.
We're all a little tired. Today.
The musical number, the Bollywood dance number, musical dance number.
Oh,
And now that takes me back to George and how he redid his musical number in the original. And
So when they go to that festival, when
when everybody's dancing, and
okay.
I was just like, okay, that's a little
okay.
that's a little callback to George's fantasy.
I gotta go. Excuse me. I would have liked to spend a little more time in the festival. I thought that would have been I thought that would have been cool or a lot of fun to spend a little bit of time in the festival. And I think it would have been fun to see Nub show up, Nub and Nub or whatever.
Oh, big nub.
Yeah. And I thought that was
Like a random tourist Ewoks. Nub. Jump,
Yep.
whatever it is.
What are your thoughts
Or
about
James Bond in a mask or something.
Yes.
Extreme fan service.
James. There you go. Extreme fan service. There you go. No,
That's
you're
okay.
good. You're
You're good,
welcome
man.
to comment, man. I thought it would have been a little bit more fun to go through, and I liked how Ray interacts with people, or the I don't even know what they're called. Did they really
The
say it?
aliens? Yeah. No. They probably did, or
I thought the kids were pretty
3PO
cool.
probably did. Yeah.
Yeah, I think 3PO did. I think that would have been. I want one of those, whatever they are.
Translators?
No, the kids, the little alien-looking.
Oh
The
yeah.
alien kids that were watching the puppet show.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
want one. They're so ugly, but they're cute at the same time. I wish my kids looked like that. Hopefully they do. I can tell them, grandfather was in a Star Wars movie. This is where you come from. Introduction to Lando.
Yes.
Could have it been better, or did you like how we were introduced to him?
I liked it. As soon as he spoke, even through the mask, I was like, I was hoping, but I was like, it's Lando. It's
Yeah,
Lando.
I knew it was going to be good. Like, where's he going to come out? Okay, yeah.
It never really explained why he was on that planet, or why he was there.
Well,
Or did I miss that?
he had said that him and Luke were there
Oh.
searching for whatever.
The ship.
Yeah, the ship, or Ochi, whatever his name was.
Right.
And I guess maybe he never left, or he's just back for the party. It's Lando
Maybe so.
Calrissian now. He likes
He
to
does
party.
love to party. That is true. Cute and ugly at the same time, like Andy.
Yeah, baby. Everybody
yeah.
loves Andy.
He's just too cruel.
Ugh,
Oh, he's just flirting.
flirty.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, winking
Okay.
at the screen.
All right.
Did you notice? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go for it. Go for it.
Okay, Lando's introduction. He says the line, "I've got a bad feeling about this,"
Of
which
course.
I did not notice, but my friend Chris said that they did not say in Last Jedi. Now I'm gonna have to go back and check.
Have a bad feeling about this.
Yeah, he's like, that's one of the things that irked him is that in the Last Jedi they never said, "I've got a bad feeling about this."
Really.
That's pretty minor in things with Irk.
Yeah, okay, yeah. As far as the Last Jedi goes, that's a minor irk, but I never realized it or whatever.
Right.
Yeah. So, but just to
Sorry,
throw
Lane.
that in there.
Okay, so we meet Lando, and then would you have liked to see more of Lando in the movie?
I thought he was going to hang around a lot more
Yeah.
at that point. Then it, kind of shows up later.
Right.
I was like, where'd he go? I was kind of like,
Do you think when they pitched him?
Maybe he was just sent off on a mission to find more.
But he was with everybody before the attack on what's that?
God.
I forgot
Sith
already. We
planet.
just watched the movie and I can't remember the
You
name of
should
the
know better
Sith
than I
planet.
do.
Huh?
You should know better than I do. I
Exactly.
saw it on Friday.
It's Exodus, not Exodus.
I was going to say Exeter.
Oh gosh.
I can't remember. Somebody
Let's talk about the Sith planet.
Okay.
What do you think about that?
With
With all the lightning and the things flashing and
was that basically a Sith temple or?
yes,
Yeah. That was another, I guess, unanswered question is what are all those things?
they're Palpatines.
Oh, you think so?
Oh yeah, I mean that's my guess.
Are they like the stormtrooper?
Clones?
Yeah,
that are left-
stormtrooper Palpatines. Like
that are left over.
they don't have any powers and they've got a limited brain power, but they're just the worker drones.
It's a bunch of Rex and what's his name?
All right, now.
What if they're all Jar Jar clones?
Oh God.
Misa build a new starship.
Misa. Oh
Misa
God.
Sith Lord.
What if
I think it's too soon.
No, too soon.
when,
It's
when
still
we
too
are
soon.
introduced to Palpatine for the first time? I called this since the very beginning, and
Yeah, what's
I
that?
called it since Force Awakens. Snoke is a clone of Palpatine. Everybody said no. It clearly shows in this movie that Snoke is a clone of Palpatine.
He says he made Palpatine. Now we don't know what he made him from. He could have made
It's
him
in
from whatever, but he's not, at the same time he's not going to make another of himself
Why not?
as powerful. Well, that's the whole reason he's after Rey.
Strike me down and
Well, that's
I
the whole
will live
reason that
forever.
he's after Rey, though. I mean, you know.
He's trying to find somebody powerful enough for him to take over.
okay.
And I just want to put this out of the way. I don't think that Palpatine is a clone. I think he.
Exegol?
Exegol.
That's
Exegol.
it. Exegol. Thank you.
Sounds like a gas
Russell.
station or something.
Yeah.
We're getting gas there. Exegol.
Or a bad popsicle. Exegol.
All right.
But I don't think that Palpatine was a clone. I think he survived somehow. And of course, he's got some kind of Sith technology that helped him stay alive. That's why he's hooked up to that thing or whatever. Because otherwise, how would he transfer his consciousness? Yeah, and his essence and whatnot.
I don't know. What did Russell say? It shows he's a clone. It does not show he's a clone of Palpatine.
Yeah, talking about
Snoke. I don't know.
Supreme Clone Snoke.
Yeah. I don't know. Let's get into this next thing, the big reveal.
Okay.
That I remember back when everybody's like, who's Rey? Who's Rey? Everybody asked, is she Palpatine? Related to Palpatine? Is she related to
Is she a Kenobi?
Skywalker?
Is she a Skywalker? Yeah.
All of this. I think one of the biggest things where they dropped the ball about is, I get it, fan service is whatever. Well, let me back up. First of all, how the hell and when did Palpatine get jiggy with it? That's my question.
I think before he became Supreme Chancellor, I think he's probably had children before he became the leader of the Republic, the Old Republic.
You think so?
Yeah, I think he must have had children, and they were just on Naboo or something, you know.
But why didn't they show up in any other, like?
Yeah, I understand.
Plot holes, people. Plot holes.
It is kind of a plot hole. Maybe they're going to have to explain it in the novel or something.
Yeah, or I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
My brain just went off on a completely weird tangent. What was the question? I'm sorry.
We're talking about the legacy of Palpatine. How could he have had children?
Oh yeah,
Grandchildren.
or when? Yeah. My question would have been, which one was Palpatine's, the father or the
It
mother?
had to be the father.
Really?
So I have this book, and I wish I can show it to you guys, but I went back. I mean, I took a picture to show you. The Secrets of the Jedi, right?
Yeah.
This book was, I bought this book in elementary school, you know, at one of those book fairs. I was in 5th grade when I bought it. But in this book, it says that this girl right here with the purple lightsaber, she's the daughter of Obi-Wan Kenobi. Jesus, Qui-Gon Jinn.
Qui-Gon.
So in the book Secrets of the Jedi, it says that Qui-Gon Jinn had a secret family, and you know he shouldn't do that. Of course, Obi-Wan had a child and a wife or whatever. Anakin and Padme, and it touches on their relationship. It touches on Luke and his girlfriend at the time too as well. But I think she was part of the dark side, if I remember
talking about
correctly.
Mara Jade?
Yeah, Mara Jade. So I can understand if it was Qui-Gon's daughter, because obviously there's, I don't know if this is canon. I don't know if this is canon anymore, but it goes back and says in this book, that there was a relationship. This is where I think they dropped the ball big time with this movie. And maybe you can agree with me or not. At the very end, I don't even know who that person is, but they ask Rey, "Who are you?"
Oh, it's just some random desert dweller, yeah.
You're talking about the very much buries the lightsaber.
Yeah.
Right. I think that
I was thinking it might be Peru, but it's not.
I'm not Peru. She's well done.
She did.
She's
Well, maybe.
I mean, this is 40 plus years later.
It's not Shmi.
I think she should have
That
said
would've been
Rey
cool.
Palpatine, because that would have been a huge slap in the face to Emperor Palpatine, because now she can take that name and turn it around and do good with it. Instead of being a Skywalker. I get it's the Skywalker saga. I get that it's the end of an era. Or,
It's the Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, I think
I'm talking about the movie as a whole. It's
Yeah,
the
yeah,
end of
but I think
Skywalker.
taking the name Skywalker is a slap in the face.
Yeah. Because, I mean, anybody hears Palpatine, they're automatically going to be like, oh.
Yeah, but what if she took that name and did good with it?
Yeah. Yeah, I see that.
I think that would have been.
That's another path, but yeah. I think she took Skywalker. She didn't want to be seen as an evil person.
That is true.
I'm trying to do the timeline as far as generation-wise, because let's say Rey and Kylo are about the same age.
Oh,
So that means that Palpatine's spawn, for lack of a better word, and his wife, or whichever one it was, would be about Leia's age. So I'm guessing that Anakin and Palpatine progenited? Progenited? Basically had kids at the same time. So right around Revenge of the Sith. But that's just generation. That's like, not an accurate timeline. I'm just going by, okay, Rey and Kylo are about the same age. So the parents would be about the same age as Leia and Han, or Luke and Leia. So then we're going back to like Revenge of the Sith when Palpatine had kids.
right.
Or thereabouts.
Are you even old enough to remember getting jiggy with it? Yes, that is Will Smith getting jiggy with it. He also says, I figured she would either take the name Skywalker or the Jedi would be called Skywalkers. Also, there is a question being asked.
I didn't like that idea for the Jedi to be called Skywalker.
What is a Skywalker? Okay. And so for somebody that's never seen Star Wars, and Ava, this is your first time watching it, Skywalker is, you have Luke Skywalker, you have Anakin Skywalker. Anakin Skywalker is daddy, Luke Skywalker is son. I'm not going to tell you the big reveal, and because
She doesn't know the.
So when I first introduced Star Wars to you, you were littler than you are now, so you really don't remember. So I've been gone for 3 years, so I haven't had time to show her the original trilogy. But if you go on TNT, oh wait, never mind, it's over.
Last night.
It was only last night. Was the last night. But Skywalker's their last name, like how you have your dad's last name. Luke Skywalker has his daddy's last name, which is Skywalker. So that's where Skywalker comes from. Also, Luke Skywalker is a Jedi, like his father before him, who is Anakin Skywalker. So that's where the name Skywalker comes from. I don't know if that helps. Comment below and let me know. Anyway, now everybody knows what a Skywalker is, yes?
Yes.
Do you have any questions, Andy?
No.
Okay. All right. So what other notes do you have for us, guys?
Well, I came up with my list of what I liked about it and what I didn't like about
Sure.
it. So I might skip a few things, but I'm going to start off with, the movie. What I like. The movie answered a lot of stuff that we had questions about.
Okay.
We've already kind of talked about that, so that was one of the main things. If they hadn't answered the questions, I'd have been, I don't know, I'd been irate.
Yeah.
So that was a big plus for me.
What questions did it answer for you?
Who Ray was.
Okay.
Sort of who Snoke was.
Sort of who Snoke was, that type of thing.
Yeah.
Also, they toned down on the comic, the one-liners and and Poe being all, himself.
Yeah.
So that was another thing that really just irritated me about the Last Jedi, and I was like, come on.
So this is a better movie for you compared to Last Jedi.
Oh, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely bounced back up. It's not top 5, but it's
Oh man.
it's it's better than Last Jedi.
Okay.
It can't get much worse than that.
Not much worse. All right. So keep going.
Also, we already talked about Carrie Fisher and how they integrated her into the movie. I really liked how that was portrayed. Also, I really liked the way they ended the movie. I liked Rey going back to Tatooine and bearing the lightsabers,
Right.
and constructing her own. So that was
pretty
really
cool.
That was really cool.
Was that the first time we saw a yellow lightsaber on
Yes,
screen?
On screen, live action.
Nice.
We've seen I think we've seen the animated shows sometimes, but
Right.
as far as this goes, the movies, this is the first time. And then it was the fact that there was her staff, part of her staff.
So that was one of my questions. Is
it a turn?
I think it's like a twist
A twist on?
to ignite it.
it's got a ring right below where the emitter is, and
Right.
she flicks it to the right.
So-
turn on.
If something's coming after her, but I was going to say if it's a twist, take it out and kind of. Oh, it's not twisting. What if the bottom
Pepper in
is?
your salad?
Yeah. some cheese.
A little light things come out.
But if she had to turn that lightsaber on, is it a dual lightsaber? Like
it's
Maul's?
it's
looks
short
like that, right?
to be a dual lightsaber, but it looked like the same on this end as it did on the other end, a little bit.
Okay.
To me, did anybody notice the sound?
No.
The sound that it made?
Yeah, it seemed very Kylo Ren-ish to me, like dark and kind of
Well, maybe
like crackly.
maybe it's I don't know if you know the origin of Kylo's lightsaber, but
Russell, man,
the crystal he had to find
he's putting all
for these lightsabers is hard to find. So I think Kylo had a tough time finding a pure one to use for his lightsaber. That's why it's kind of got that.
I always equated Kylo's lightsaber to his internal struggle because he's very much out of control.
Yeah.
So he built a
Part
lightsaber
of
so
it, too.
powerful that the parts on the end weren't actually guards; they were exhaust ports because it had so much power in it. That's why it was always kind of out of its
Blowing
own
up.
thing, its own deal.
Okay. All right.
But
So
that's just to me.
yeah. So now I'm going to go into what I was kind of a little perturbed about. It's
Sure.
Stuff that I was kind of
Don't say this.
irritated about.
You keep sending all the R-rated stuff to me at
But
the bottom.
Jesus.
there was times when I wasn't clear on what the main plot of this movie. What
Yeah.
I kind of feel like I was getting
Sidetracked?
sidetracked at times.
Because there was so much in it.
There was so much in it, and the pacing was such a fast pace. At least the first half of the movie was really fast paced. It kind
Yeah.
of slowed down towards the end a little bit.
Yeah.
But I thought the plot could have been a little more streamlined, a little more. They could edit the film a little bit better to make it,
It's not that I felt like the movie wasn't edited well, because it was, and it felt tight. If that, what I mean is, in a way, I agree with you what you're saying, but at the same time, it feels like everything we saw on screen was there for a reason. It didn't feel like anything was just there to be a filler scene.
Right.
no fluff.
Right, no fluff. And that's why I feel like the pacing kind of moves quick because everything you see is like boom, 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 and now we're at the end. Gosh, where was I going with this? What did you say? I'm sorry.
We're talking about the plot.
The plot.
If you could-
Okay, there it is. There it came back. Sorry, medicine brain. Seizure brain, I should say. This movie had so much course correcting to do between
Force Awakens.
Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, and then this one. So JJ had a. We'll go back to that one scene. Which
had to explain a lot of
Right.
stuff. and
It seems
fix
like
things.
if this, I feel like we should have had a number 10, right, to the saga because this would have been a great build up to the very last episode before a season finale, if that makes sense.
Right.
Series.
Your series finale, yeah.
The way I see it is they could have shortened Last Jedi. There's so little out of the Force Jedi they really got in the Last Jedi.
Right.
But they could have shortened that into
Turned it. Yeah.
like a 30-minute, part of a movie.
Sure.
So.
It just feels like they heard the fans.
Mhm.
JJ went and I liked what he did. He took some great stuff out of the movie. Like he used the whole thing with the Force Skyping. I thought that was pretty cool. And this time now you can actually get physical with each other and
Yeah.
pass things off, which is maybe that's only a Kylo Ren and Rey thing.
Yeah.
But I think what
I
Ryan
think it
Johnson.
is because they were a diet.
Yeah.
Right, yes, they are a diet. What I like is that Ryan Johnson, he evolved what the Force can do.
Right.
There's in order for Star Wars to progress and stay relevant, you need to be able to add new elements to the Force. So I think that's what he did really well with the last movie. And of course, JJ came in and he took that and he ran with it, which is nice.
Yeah.
Also, it seems like if I was to watch this movie, it feels like two different movies now that I think about it. So I feel like we have the Force Awakens, and now if I was to watch the Force Awakens, skip Last Jedi, and go right into this movie, I'm not missing anything.
Not much.
No, I'm not at all because,
Except for Luke.
well, yeah,
So what happened to Luke?
right? Because they clearly explain that they knew. Luke said, "We all knew you were a Palpatine," which kind of makes sense going back to the Force Awakens when, what was it? Han is like, "Who's the girl?"
Yeah.
Or does Maz Kanata say that?
Lost the time.
She says, "So who's the girl?"
Yeah.
And then it kind of lingers on Han for a minute, and then it cuts away. It seems like everybody knew who she was, but obviously us audience members, we didn't know.
Kept out of the loop.
Right. Do you think that was intentional by JJ? Do you think he had a clear cut of who Rey was, or was this just course correcting and, well, we need to have Palpatine in here and we need to tie up who Rey is? Because Last Jedi said she was nobody.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know because they did bring in Palpatine at the last minute, right? Or not the last minute, but
They say they had the plan from the beginning, but we all know Disney didn't have a plan at all.
okay.
So they say.
Well, I mean, if you call back to the original trilogy, Lucas didn't know he was going to make Darth Vader Luke's father.
Right, until the last minute.
So, and then when they made Jedi, I said, well, yeah, we're going to do it that way.
Right.
So I don't think he knew going into making that trilogy that was going to be the case.
Sure.
I think it just kind of evolved.
Yeah.
It's more,
I don't know if you have any more thoughts on that.
I don't really.
Okay. All right. How about you? What else do you got for us?
Okay, let's see. I think we've already kind of touched on this, but where does Palpatine's offspring come from? I mean, we already talked about that a little bit.
Right.
That kind of irritated me. I know it irritated you a little bit.
Yeah.
And we talked about the pacing. The pacing was a little too fast for me.
Oh, it was a little too fast?
Yeah.
I would have liked just a little bit of slowing down, but
Or at least at the beginning, they should have started off a little slow and then
kind of built up to it.
built up to it.
You didn't like the just right off the bat. I mean, I thought it was great. I mean, it really got me pumped up as I'm watching the movie for the first time. It's like, bam,
Yeah.
bam, bam, because we go straight from Kylo and Palpatine to the Millennium Falcon doing the ice run. I'm going to call it the ice run, people, doing the ice run.
Right.
And then it starts to slow down a little bit from there. But, I mean, I liked it. It's kind of like in, what is it? I know they did it in Revenge of the Sith because it was like immediately space battle. And I can't remember what they did in Attack of the Clones at the very beginning. But
Attack of the Clones in the very beginning, I think that it was the ship landing and then the ship blows
it
up.
blows up, yeah.
And then
It's not quite as fast paced as like Revenge of the Sith because Revenge of the Sith is just an all out.
Attack of the Clones is so
Battle.
slow.
Oh yeah, well that's the love story pretty much.
Thankfully, this isn't a live show about Attack of the Clones.
Because it would be
Jesus.
very, very slow.
Oh man, I would be. I almost watched that movie the other day. I was thinking about it.
Really?
Just
Well, I mean,
There's
I don't
a
know
lot
if
of
you could
good-
fast forward it over the slow parts. Like, I love you. I love you. I'm gonna jump on the back of not a dewback or whatever that thing
It's like
was.
a big tick or something.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of the things that are in the Mandalorian
Yeah.
because they're kind of
Mando.
Yeah.
they're big and wonky or whatever.
Right.
But so that got you is that we didn't find out who Ray's parents are, but not where they're from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, well, what timeline were they from, and
Yeah.
how long ago were they, and were Palpatine's children hidden from him, like Luke's, like
Ooh,
Anakin's
that's a
children,
good one.
like Anakin's children were hidden from him too.
Ooh,
And Palpatine know he had offspring.
that is good. That's
That's very good.
it. Could be a comic book, guys,
That could
or a
be.
book.
So let's also talk about the elephant in the room
Copyright Carter
with
Hicks.
this movie. Oh, do you have any more? I'm sorry.
It's a little bit. I'm not a big fan of the Raylo.
Oh, I knew it was coming.
Raylo.
Yeah, I mean, come on. Why are they? I mean, there's no reason for them to kiss.
That's like extreme, not extreme, but fan service. It's like
Yeah, that's definitely
so
a
many
fan.
people were shipping it, and
Well,
it's kind of hard to tell where they're going to go with that because there's at the beginning there's the whole back and forth between Rey and Poe, which is very kind of Luke and Leia. I mean, not Luke and Leia,
Han
Leia
and
and Han and Leia,
Uh-huh.
and then of course there's Finn and Rey, and then
Yeah, you're right. Now that I think about it. Keep going. I'm sorry. I like where this is going.
there's Finn and Rey, and then of course there's Raylo, but
Croissant or Naboo? Okay. Yeah,
Well,
I have to agree with
not
you.
the plan, but just like where. I mean,
what's the backstory?
what's the backstory?
Yeah.
on it,
Right.
really,
Yeah.
you know? That's what I mean.
So we got our first LGBT characters in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing. I was like, it just didn't seem to fit in with the movie. If they had been characters on the side, at least during the whole movie, flirting, and then maybe. But
Yeah,
it
they
seemed
just,
like it's all they just stuck it here at the end.
I think what it was that everybody's like Finn, which I'll go back to Finn. Finn and Poe are supposed to be an item. That's what everybody was shipping, that they were supposed to be.
I almost
Lovers.
thought that they were going to kiss right there at the end. when-
Because he grabs the back of Finn's head as he goes as Poe goes to hug Finn. He grabs the back of Finn's head, and the first time I watched it, Reagan and I were both like, "Oh, here we go,
Here it is.
and then they hugged, and it's
No.
like, "Oh."
Okay.
And then as the camera's panning, of course, you see the two girls run up, and like you said,
Yeah.
it would have made more sense if it showed them being just two random background characters make out. Who cares?
Yeah.
Yeah, but who cares? That's a good point. Who cares?
That means they don't really need to be in there.
It's just like we would have liked if maybe we would have. I don't know. It's just, I think it's just Disney saying, "Look, we're being edgy. Look at us."
Being
Ooh.
social justice
Yeah,
warriors.
social justice warriors.
Okay, since we're talking about that scene or those scenes, now other people have confided in me as to they thought Chewie getting his medal was just straight fan service. Now I loved it.
I liked that.
loved
Chewie
it.
deserved that
Because-
medal.
And honestly, I
Yeah.
never really noticed. I saw some commentary or something on YouTube or read an article, and it's like, Chewie didn't get his medal, and I was like, he didn't.
Could
SOBs.
could it have been Han's medal?
Russell.
Yeah.
Possible it could have been Han's medal that
Right.
he received.
Token lesbians. Russell.
Oh,
Uh,
Russell, you scamp.
Yeah, Chewie getting his medal. That is.
I'm kind of, because it came from Maz, and I'm in my head,
What else?
I'm like, okay, Leia went back and was like, look, let the Wookiee win.
Let
he
the
needs-
Wookiee
He needs
win.
his medal, so we're gonna get him a new medal. It could have been Han's. I
See,
like
they
that.
did
though.
a lot.
That's very cool.
They did a lot right in this movie, which I enjoy. But also, some things don't make sense. For example, what did Finn have to tell Rey so bad?
Oh
Okay,
yeah, that's one of the lingering things.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like,
this comes into one of my show notes. Go ahead.
hey, blah, 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 as they're sinking into the sand. What does he have to tell her that's so important?
Yeah.
And why can't Poe know? It's like
Wookiee always wins.
JJ was trying to go down a certain path, and then at the last minute, Disney was like, you know what? We should have Kylo and Rey be in love. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And that's what it felt like at the
Maybe,
last.
maybe he was going to profess this love, and I'm not going to do it.
Well, I mean, they did think they were fixed to sink into the whatever.
Yeah.
I kind of got the, and I think it was raised up in a couple of other, or at least one other scene, is does Finn know? Because Luke knows, Leia knows that Rey's Palpatine. Does Finn know?
That's another thing that this movie alluded to. I mean, which we all thought in The Force Awakens. So
And
Finn is
in the
force.
Force?
He's force sensitive now.
It seems like it. I mean, he's not a Force user, but he seems like very sensitive to the Force.
The way he picked up the lightsaber in Force Awakens, I mean, he wasn't,
And it makes
adept
sense.
at it, but he still seemed like he knew a little bit. I know some of it can be attributed to him being a stormtrooper and having some
Yeah.
combat, combat training, but
But you've also got, there's that thing, like I said, that had me misdirected when Kylo lands.
yeah.
Because
so
Finn
maybe-
reacts to it. It's like there's a tremor in the Force.
Yeah.
And so,
Yes. Okay. So you're talking about when they're on the water planet or whatever.
no, right at the beginning of The Force Awakens, when
when
they're
they're on
on,
Jakku.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah. When
when he's still a stormtrooper, and
they make eye contact.
Yeah.
Well, when he lands,
After they killed everybody.
and then does he make eye contact before or after? I think it's after.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then the bolt will. But yeah, there was just that thing that's like, okay, is he the Jedi? But obviously, I mean, and I do like there he is, the man,
Hey,
the legend.
what happened to you, man?
I like,
Hospital.
What happened?
Allergic reaction.
to what?
Dang.
Yeah. Well, this arm's like this because they had to put the IV on this arm because I had a reaction to this, so they had to keep the swelling down on this arm. So,
Mm.
so they couldn't. So
Did
they
you
had
get
to switch.
stung or did you eat something?
No, it was, apparently seafood.
Oh.
Oh,
All right.
wow,
So that's
dude.
kind of.
And they tried to shoot me with some penicillin, and I reacted to that.
So we just have.
Change
I just
seats.
landed on.
What just happened? Everything froze.
Oh, did we
Okay,
unplug?
there we go. No, we're good. We're good. Oh yeah, we unplugged. That's why we froze. So those of you who are watching, Chris just showed up, and he looks like hell. But we're glad you're here. Not like that, but I mean, with the. So take a
Are
seat,
you
man.
fit?
Get a little close.
Get
Oh, I
closer.
don't have to get in here, man.
Yeah, sit down, join us. All right, there he is. I don't know if you guys can see him on the end.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so we're talking about the whole Raylo love right now. I don't know if you've been watching and keeping up with what we've been talking about.
I did in the room and all that for a minute there until I had the reaction.
Gotcha.
Then she told me to put my phone down.
You had a
Wait,
reaction.
did you just come from the hospital?
Yeah, I just came from
Dude!
Damn, that is
That's hardcore.
Yeah.
what's the word I'm
Yeah,
looking
you
for?
can feel the bump right there. My arm got swollen.
Jesus.
Yeah, this is what they had put the IV in. She goes, I put the IV in right here, but with your allergic reaction, I don't want to mess anything up right there with the blood thing like that. I was like, okay. So she's like, let me pump you over here. I was like, really? You're gonna give me 2 wraps? And she was like, yeah, I'm gonna have to. It hurts a little bit, but she said the swelling should go down in about the next hour or so.
Okay. All right. So getting back on topic. Okay, so we're on the what's the name of that planet that they're on, Chris? Sorry, I didn't mean to hit you in the arm.
Yeah, you did.
Asshole.
Asshole.
With the water flashing up and they're sitting there fighting lightsaber. Raylo.
Oh, it's one of the moon's Vendor or something. It's
Is
where-
it?
It's
Okay.
It's the water moon of Endor.
Yeah.
So the elephant in the room.
I
What
don't
do you
know
guys?
what y'all been discussing.
We've just been going through discussing
Oh, and she was there in the memorial scene when they say
No.
goodbye to her. She was there. She's in the back.
like the very, very.
She's in the back corner. Yeah.
I gotta.
She changed clothes, I guess.
I guess that's what it is.
I'd just like to say, we already spoke about Raylo, right?
Yeah, we're still talking about that a little bit.
Okay. As far as the kiss goes,
Oh,
it didn't take me out or anything. What?
Okay. You're good. You're good.
Okay. It didn't take me out of the movie. It did a little bit, but I was just like,
It took me
oh
completely
no,
out.
poor Finn.
Someone just said, George, we're glad you showed up.
Whoever George is.
From
This is dedication.
Oh,
right here,
George
people.
Costanza.
George Costanza.
That's not my name.
Why would Finn know? I don't know. Maybe Leia told him. I mean, I think there's that part where, but I think it's more like because Rey confides in him that she had the vision of her on the throne.
Yeah.
And they're like, and he's telling Poe or somebody that you don't know what she's going through. And then Poe, of course, is like, well, you don't know what she's going through. It's like, yeah, I do, because he was a stormtrooper and he had that, am I a bad guy or am I a good guy? Blah blah blah.
What did you guys think about? Not to cut you off. I'm sorry.
Oh,
But what I was trying to get into was the whole. Now you're healed.
I didn't like
force healing.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is
now-
in canon, though.
I mean, it's
That is in
it's
canon.
been in the video games.
Yep.
Stuff.
it. Y'all speak.
I
listen.
of course
Listen.
they released the Mando Wednesday, right? Was it Wednesday?
Wednesday. Yeah.
Wednesday
Uh-huh.
before the movie came out. In that, Baby Yoda, aka the child,
The child.
force healed somebody, and so it was kind of, I don't know if they did that intentionally so that people are watching it and it's like so not to like jar you out of the movie or whatever.
Yeah.
But I thought I had read or seen or played something where there was force healing somewhere. So it didn't really surprise me. Not as much as what I call force transmigration.
So I mean, what I thought was unnecessary is for Rey to heal that serpent underneath the. That kind of took things away from that.
But I think that was just there to kind of say, hey, remember this power? Don't forget it.
Oh yeah, you got to introduce it before she does it to Kylo.
Well, I don't know. I think that would have been kind of a cool intro to just.
Oh, just to do it to Kylo. But then it might be, it's part of the Force dyad thing, or.
All right.
And I think Chris had told me that he didn't like it. Just the serpent in itself, because it's like, okay, they're stuck in the tunnel. She force heals a serpent, and he opens a tunnel for him to get out. And it's like easy riding or whatever, or lazy riding.
Go ahead.
I didn't like
What's your opinion?
I didn't like the force healing at all.
Why?
Worst time to introduce it into the movies. Worst time.
Oh,
And
right at the end of the saga.
I'm not alone either. There's a lot of people that thought that was a bad idea.
Yeah.
Horrible idea. It may be in the games and it may be in The Mandalorian, but it's never been introduced in any of the movies. It didn't get reintroduced in the comics until later on or whatever.
Yeah.
It was a bad move. Bad move. Now everyone's like, well, if there's force healing, then Luke could have just healed Anakin at the end of Return of the Jedi. Now everybody's popping up all these questions. You open up a cold can of worms with that.
But
Maybe, like you said, it's a dyad thing.
well, no, she did it to the serpent, but it's also like any force ability. There's going to be.
I just didn't buy it.
There's going to be natural talent, natural abilities, and learned talent. Learned
So
Yeah.
abilities.
What if it was in the
Qui-Gon
books?
learned how to become a
Force Ghost, exactly. And he passed that on
He passed it on to Obi-Wan.
Obi-Wan and Yoda. And
Well, that was
down the
something
line.
that was something they always knew of, but no one had ever experienced it yet.
Right.
And that was talked about in the novels that Yoda learned from Qui-Gon because Qui-Gon went to that one planet on Clone Wars and actually learned what the afterlife is about.
Right.
I do have a callback to her healing Kylo.
Okay.
And I don't know, this might just be in my head. It's very much subtext. It's not really spoken out loud, but I got a big, strong callback to The Last Jedi because, of course, she stabs him, then she heals him. And what was running through my head was that line that Rose tells Finn after she saves him from doing a suicide run at the end. She goes, "We don't win by destroying what we hate. We win by saving what we love."
Ooh, good one.
And like I said, it's total subtext with her, stabbing him and then healing him because she saved him. And she does, I'm not going to go as far as like love. They might be just like brother sister love because Han and Leia kissed a couple of times.
A couple?
Yeah, on the Death Star
So,
and on.
let me ask this question:
medical frigate or whatever.
What is with Star Wars and incest?
No, it was on Hoth. It wasn't
Like,
a medical frigate.
Can I ask that question? What is with Star Wars and incest? Luke and Leia kiss. They're brother and sister.
Yeah.
Kylo Ren and Rey. Essentially, they're cousins. If you want to think about it, in a way, they're related, and they
They're
kiss
definitely dyads or whatever.
because Anakin is made by Palpatine, and then of course
Okay, I see what you're going.
you
there.
see where I'm going.
Yeah.
So I don't understand it.
Yeah.
What is it?
I
Are
don't
we
know.
on some level that we don't know yet, or is that like
It's it all goes back to there's no romance in space operas. They're just trying to like trash it as hard as they can.
I guess so.
George Lucas is trying to tell us something. Thank you, Russell. I've got a couple of show notes that are just minor and kind of stupid. In some of the scenes, to me, BB-8 looked bigger.
Bigger.
Yeah, like bigger around.
Don't ever underestimate a droid.
Yeah, I'm not going to say fatter, but
Rounder,
to me,
round to shape.
yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know if
I
anybody-
really didn't pay attention. To that,
Yeah.
but
Okay.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Some scenes he looked bigger. Some scenes he looked a little
Yeah.
smaller.
I just noticed the scene where he was missing one of his panels or something.
Yeah. After Ray drops a tree on him.
Yeah.
What do you think of Dio or
Dio. Yeah.
Dio?
I think it's Dio.
the little hairdryer droid?
He's cute. And I guess he's like,
That's
I don't
JJ,
know.
isn't it?
Yeah, it's JJ who did the voice.
Yeah.
for it.
I don't know if that's because BB-8 was introduced by himself, so that's going to be the new like 3PO R2 thing or what.
Well,
But he's he's cool.
they
He's
should have
okay.
introduced him in the last movie instead of this movie.
Yeah.
Right.
They wanted to.
Like, but that brings me to another thing that I really liked about the movies. There was more C-3PO. There's more R2-D2. We're kind of missing in the first two of the sequel
Yeah.
movies. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
R2-D was barely in the Force Awakens.
Right.
That is true.
And C-3PO was barely in that one too. So.
He had a big emotional thing in Last Jedi. I cried when I watched it again. I don't remember if I cried the first time when he plays Leia's message.
Yeah,
to Luke.
that was good.
I was like, okay. Another thing is, when are they going to invest in rear view mirror technology in the Star Wars galaxy? Because when the Knights of Ren go to follow, I don't know if it's the Millennium Falcon or whatever, but the Knights of Ren are following somebody. They pulled out of the deal. First thing I flashed back was when Boba Fett is tracking the Millennium Falcon. It's like, don't you guys have rear view mirrors? There's somebody behind you. Honk at him. He's tailgating you.
Somebody just commented saying I have a bat in the cave. What does that mean?
That means you got a booger.
Oh, do I really?
I don't know.
Oh, Jesus.
Did you?
I don't know.
I didn't see it.
I can't
It wasn't on my side.
So,
Carter.
pick it for me. Message retracted. Oh,
Okay.
what did he delete?
It was something about me.
Oh,
He said I looked stoned, which I wish I felt I was.
Oh, yeah, you just got out of the hospital.
Rearview mirrors. Ren's TIE Fighter. Kylo Ren's TIE Fighter. Okay, she destroys the one on where do they go? The desert planet.
Yeah,
Pisana.
that was cool.
What is it?
Yeah, that was
Pisana.
cool. But why wasn't the Sith Wayfinder in that TIE Fighter? And then there's at least another one that he gets in, and then she finally gets into the last one.
It is.
She pulls it out. She pulls it out.
Yeah,
She finds it.
but I mean, why wasn't it in the first TIE Fighter that she destroys on Pisana?
Yeah, it is in that one.
She destroys it. She
The one
jumps up and chops one of the wings off, and it breaks apart. Yeah. And then he gets into another one. I don't know if that one gets destroyed or not, but then the third one that we see of his is the one that she steals.
I don't think that was the actual one. I think that was just another one.
Yeah, but I mean, why would he be buying a different one? You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's a plot hole. I don't
I have no
normally look
There's
for
a hole
plot
in the
holes.
plots.
There's a lot
Yeah.
of plots. There's a lot of plot holes
He's
in this
got
movie.
backup ships. I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, like I said, you know what? Magically, the Wayfinder is the one that she stole, but it's the Force.
What is the Force?
It's not the midichlorians, I'll tell you that much. Why is Vader's helmet always smoky? What is up with that? Do they keep it in like a refrigerator or something? Every time they open the thing, it's
It
like,
looks like it's sitting on that pedestal's got like little bits of charcoal or something. It's
it's just one of my
it's heated
stupid
for
things.
some reason.
Yeah.
In the Force Awakens novel, it actually says in it that he keeps it on the bed of ashes of the people he's killed.
Okay.
That's creepy.
Yep.
Andy, grab that right over there real quick. The
bag?
brown bag.
The brown paper bag?
Yep.
Okay.
Let's open that up.
Oh
Can you do it?
no!
Oh.
No!
Let's take a look inside this because I want some answers. And now that I think about it,
I don't know if you get all the answers you want.
Let's see. I don't know what I meant by Diet Connect. Lando and the girl.
ooh, there it is.
Lando and the girl. Is that a kind of a foreshadowing? Is that might be Lando's daughter or?
I
I think there's just too many.
Chris is shaking his head.
No, they've already shaken it off.
Oh, they did.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so it's not his daughter.
Abrams said it wasn't his daughter.
Yeah, but see, because I don't see Lando being a guy that would settle down and.
He said they decided in the last part of the draft when they were writing the script and all that. He said they changed it because it was his daughter. They said they changed it because they didn't want everybody complaining that everybody's linked up to somebody in the in the saga.
It was bad enough she was a stormtrooper. I mean,
Yeah,
Who was the stormtrooper?
she was.
Oh yeah, that's
the
right.
chick. I
Kylo
don't
Ren.
know her name. Lando and the girl. Luke finally raises the X-wing. Do or do not.
Yes,
There's no
he finally
try.
does.
he finally
That was-
does it.
yeah.
He completes the
And it's the same music. I think it's the same music as when Yoda does it.
Yoda's thing.
Yeah.
Kind of real quick to change course. Rey gets her own lightsaber.
Yeah.
This time around.
Yeah.
Thankfully, we get that lightsaber because I'm tired of people saying Luke's lightsaber is what's Rey's lightsaber when it's
Technically, it's Anakin's, but
Yeah.
Also, why the hell where did the green lightsaber go?
Luke probably threw it away whenever he got to Octo. Is it Octo? The
Maybe.
the port planet.
We were left to be burned in the temple.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Oh crap! What was I going to say? What did you say at the beginning? Rey's lightsaber.
Rey's lightsaber, yeah.
I forgot what I was going to say. I need a piece of paper so I can write this stuff down, but I don't have a pen anyway. It doesn't matter.
I might have a pen in my bag. Oh, you have a pen? There you go.
Rear
There you
view,
go,
BB-8.
It's a nice pen. Yeah. So while you're thinking about that, do you wish there was a after credit scene? And if so, what would you have liked to see?
Not Broom Boy, that's for sure.
Broom Kid.
Oh,
Broom Boy.
God.
Yes, I'm glad that wasn't. I was kind of curious if there was one because I left before the end of the credits. There's a lot of people sitting still.
Yeah.
Like they
I left
expected.
before the credits on this one, but I stayed
Yeah.
for the last one, and
There
wasn't anything.
There's no after credits.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
If there was an after credit, what would you like to see?
Maybe something with the droid.
Something with the droid?
Yeah. Yeah. That would probably be the safe bet on that one.
I would have liked to see Kylo Ren's lightsaber washing up on shore and just a hand picking it up. We don't know who it is, where it comes from.
It's freaking Maz.
But-
That's another thing that
But somebody leaning down and picking it up. No, of course that thing's not going to wash up on shore because
Yeah.
obviously those things are heavy and they sink. But
Well, you never know.
Darth Maul, I like that. Darth Maul comes back at the end.
Would it be a creepy scene?
No, just
Foreboding, foreshadowing scene?
just seeing waves wash up on the shore
Yeah.
and kind of going back and forth and seeing the
'Cause it is-
lightsaber wash up.
Kylo's.
And if it's somebody walking by, they kneel down and they just pick it up. But we don't see who it is. We
Darth
just
Revan.
see, we just see hands pick it up, and then when it cuts to black, you hear the sound of a lightsaber turning on.
That's another thing that didn't answer is Maz, how she got the lightsaber.
Yeah.
That irks me just the tiniest
They
little
better
bit.
have like a novel or something.
Yeah.
Do we really know where Maz Katana gets these things, though? Like,
She's
is it
been
that
around for at
important?
least 1,000 years, so she's older than Yoda,
No,
right?
no, she's younger than him.
Yoda was 900 something when he died. So, and that was.
I don't get why they needed to go through all
Is that
the
what you were
asteroid
doing?
field, iron storms to get to exile. Couldn't they go around, or is that planet surrounded by all that?
I'm sure it's
It's probably surrounded by all
probably
that.
surrounded.
All right.
That's the reason the Sith chose that spot to have their temple or whatever.
So, how about we do our top 11 lists of the movies?
Okay.
I got one more thing.
Already.
I got one more thing
Okay.
in my list.
Okay, go
Is
ahead.
I don't know how I feel about it. I don't really feel any other way, but I just wanted to know what y'all's theories are. Is why does Leia discorporate at the same time as Kylo, or Ben? At that point, he's Ben, because her body's
For
under the
dramatic
sheet,
effect.
Yeah.
No.
and then Ben, sacrifices himself and
4,000 years.
turns into a Force
Mm.
ghost, and at the same time, Leia does too. And I was just wondering what y'all's
I don't know.
fan.
I think
theories
it's
are.
just because they're connected by the
Yeah.
Force.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think Leia was helping, even though she was on the bed dying or
Mhm.
dead. I still think that I still think that she was helping keep Kylo alive until the last very second.
Russell says, Han says Maz has run the pub for over 4,000 years. I think what he says is, and I'm not trying to argue with you, but I think he says that she's ran the pub for over 1,000 years and not 4,000 years. So that's what I think he said. Because, she'd be pretty old if she was 4,000 years old.
Yeah.
She'd be way older than Yoda.
Somebody's watching on it. So that looks really awesome on a big TV. Okay, so your top. We'll go from Chris. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
We'll go to Chris and we'll work our way down.
No, this is y'all show now. I'm just here.
Top 10 or top 5 favorite Star Wars
Can you rank,
movies?
rank all the movies the way you see them? Best to last.
I rewatched A New Hope last night. It's boring as fuck.
Ooh.
It is. It's boring. I watched Rogue One. I watched the marathon. Watched Rogue One right after it again, and rewatched A New Hope. A New Hope's only good if you watch Rogue One first. It helps it.
Yeah.
But A New Hope by itself is boring as hell.
Mm,
So I actually dropped it. It wasn't number 2 for me. I dropped it out of my top 3 now.
really?
Yeah.
That's not even in my
It's-
top 5.
It's boring. There's nothing going on. You don't find anything out till like the second half of the movie.
True.
It's all set up to me. So.
Yeah. How about you, Carter?
I mean, there's a lot of things I want to say about Rise of Skywalker, but I ain't gonna get into all that.
So, what's your favorite movie?
Empire. There's nothing that comes close.
Really?
Empire's number one.
Okay, then what movie number 2, Rogue One?
Rogue One or Revenge of the Sith.
Okay.
All right. How about you?
Well,
For me, it's not all about the other stuff that everybody talks about, like the lightsaber fights and all that. For me, it's the lore. It's the mythology. And to me, Revenge of the Sith has a lot of good mythology in it.
Oh yeah,
A lot of
absolutely.
good mythology in it.
to me, it was the story. If I liked the story, how it played as a movie. You'll probably know what my last place movie is. That's probably easy to guess.
Solo.
No,
I'm just kidding. It's obviously The Last Jedi.
it's obviously so. I'm with him first. Empire Strikes Back all the way.
Yeah.
Just the reveal of Luke's father. That was it.
That was a game changer in
That was a game changer.
cinema.
Yeah.
It seems like after that, everybody tried to replicate that twist.
Since I'm an old Star Wars purist, I still call the first movie Star Wars, not A New Hope.
Yeah.
So that's my number 2.
Okay.
Then Rogue One. Number 4 is Return of the Jedi. I mean, even though it had Ewoks, I still had.
Ewoks, the teddy
That's
bears
something
of
we
Star
didn't talk
Wars.
about. Did we talk about the Ewoks in Rise of Skywalker?
I'm still mad in the Rise of Skywalker. Chewie didn't go home to see his family that he abandoned. He has a wife, he has a kid, and he has a grandparent. He hasn't seen them in how many years?
Yeah.
Like they could be dead. Sorry.
Did
not to cut
anybody
you off.
think that Maz was going to plant one on Chewie when she gives him the medal?
No, but they could have taken that scene out.
Yeah,
The whole middle scene was stupid.
I enjoyed it.
I liked it.
I
mean,
thought
it's
it was
fan
nice.
service, yeah, and I loved it. Just
That's
because
that's the sad thing. It's the worst kind of fan service. It's almost like, hey, y'all missed that in the first movie, so we got you in this one. That's what I didn't like. It's like just leave it alone. Just leave it alone.
What was I going to say?
All right.
What was it?
So, Return of the Jedi was my number 4.
Okay.
Then The Force Awakens. I thought that was a really good. Bringing back the trilogy after we dealt with the prequels. And then Rise of Skywalker is my number 6 as of right now. It might change. We'll see.
Okay.
Number 7's Revenge of the Sith. That was the best of the prequels.
Yeah.
Then with Solo. Solo could have been higher if it had been a little bit darker.
Okay. I can see that.
But I thought it was still a good movie.
Sure.
Then Attack of the Clones. It's better than Phantom Menace.
Last Jedi.
Oh, that's a hard one right there, man.
Yeah.
That love story in Attack of the Clones is so bad.
Well,
Yeah.
it was the Clone Wars and the Yoda and Dooku fight, and that
Yeah.
plus Jango Fett. Jango Fett was cool. Then Phantom Menace. I can only take so much Jake Lloyd. So
Take so much what?
Jake Lloyd.
Oh, yeah,
as Anakin. And then Last Jedi is last.
Okay. I might have to take this because you have all the movies on here. My top 5, and I posted this on Facebook earlier this week. My top 5 would be Empire, Rise of Skywalker. I know as my number 2nd, but I enjoy it that much. Number 3rd, I have Return of the Jedi, Rogue One, and then Revenge of the Sith as my number 5.
Revenge of the Sith, man. Yeah.
Gosh, I guess number 6 would be Solo. Number 7 would be Star Wars, the original one. Number 8 would be The Last Jedi. Number 9 would be Attack of the Clones, and number 10 would be The Phantom Menace. Because that's just a horrible movie altogether, and it doesn't hold up today.
I'd rather watch it than Attack of the Clones.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
can see
cannot
that.
handle those. I cannot handle those Anakin Padme scenes. Oh my god.
Yeah, they're bad.
I don't know that I can rank them 1 through 10 or whatever. Are we doing the whole thing or just?
Yeah.
The best you can.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be perfect.
Definitely the top 5. In the top 5 is Rogue One, Empire, and I'm gonna put Rise of Skywalker in there because it's still new in my brain.
Still fresh.
I'd have to put, I think, Clones at the bottom for me.
Okay.
And the only reason is I went back and watched The Last Jedi, and like I said, I don't know if I
After
mentioned
watching
this.
a Ryan Johnson movie, it's gotten a little
after
better.
after watching the Ryan Johnson movie Knives Out and finding out that the questions get answered, some questions get answered, I was like, okay, I don't know. It's like a whole new movie to me. I have no idea. Let's see. What else is there? I don't know where to put The Force Awakens. It was great. I think
it was a lot of fun.
yeah, I don't know where I haven't got them sorted out in my head. Clones is at the bottom. Rogue One, Empire, and Rise of Skywalker are at the top 5.
Right.
And I don't know where the middle comes in.
Okay.
Jedi was a little saccharine. I
Sure.
don't know if that's the right term. It was very much.
It was weak.
It was
Yeah,
a
you
cheesy.
really
It was
thought
a
Jedi was
cheesy.
weak?
It was
Yeah.
a cheesy ending
Yeah.
to that saga.
Very
You know.
cheesy.
But I mean, it was a great movie.
The
Loved it.
dialogue, the acting was bad.
Yeah.
Oh, I love you. I know. Oh, good lord.
I don't know.
That was an Empire.
No, that was Return of the Jedi.
It was
They did it-
both.
they
Han says it to Leia in Return of the Jedi when she gets shot. And then
Yeah, Han says,
but
"I love
you-
you," and she goes, "I know."
You gotta admit, driving through the forest of Endor on those
Oh,
speeder
yeah,
bike.
that was
get
that
alongside
was
that
bad.
one.
Yeah,
You know
that was pretty dope.
I mean, my whole argument with Return of the Jedi is the fact that Vader's just sitting there, just standing there next to the Emperor. The Emperor's trying to kill his son, and the Emperor doesn't sense anything. And all of a sudden, Vader just picks him up and throws him over the shaft. And I've gotten into an argument with someone on Facebook about that because they were like, "Man, Return of the Jedi is like the #1 best over Empire." I was like, "That's good." And we got into an argument about it. I told him, I was like, "Give me one thing about Return of the Jedi that makes it better than Empire." He goes, "Man, Vader getting redeemed, he kills the Emperor." I was like, "Oh, you mean the whole time they're just standing next to each other?" And just like what Snoke was telling Kylo Ren in Last Jedi, I read every one of his thoughts. I can see what's coming. All this. I was like, "Man, come on, the dude's standing right next to you. You gonna tell me you can't feel the conflict? Come on, man." That was so weak.
Thank you, sir.
That was so weak. And Campia says that's his #1 Star Wars movie of all time. He's weak.
Jedi, really?
Yeah, Return of the Jedi.
I don't.
Yeah.
I mean,
That ending was so cheesy.
Now the original
shouldn't it
trilogy
be
is
1
always
to
gonna.
11? Yes, you're right, Russell. 1 to 11. Wait.
I do have 11.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's 9 plus Rogue One and Solo, I guess.
Actually, there's technically 12.
Yeah, the Clone Wars movie.
Well, I don't consider that it's part of it.
It's canon.
It's canon,
Yeah.
but it's an animated movie.
It's a movie though. It got
Yeah, that's
released.
true.
And it was released.
But-
Yeah, it was released in cinema.
But see, I see.
But also, was that
I
a
don't think
lead up to the actual Clone Wars series?
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a part of
I
it.
mean, you could say that was just like a cash grab and like, look, we're gonna.
It was to see if
Every
anybody
movie's a
would.
cash
And I mean,
grab.
even and weren't the not to be nitpicky or anything, but weren't the voice actors in the Clone Wars movie different from the Clone Wars?
only a
series?
couple of them.
Yeah, so
It's still canon though.
yeah.
I
I'm
don't think we
on
can-
the same page as Carter. I was just like, yeah, I didn't even watch it at all.
It's terrible. It is. It's cheesy. No, I don't think we can really do an official ranking. Somebody brought up a good point on Twitter today when I was online, and they're like, "You can't truly rank all the Star Wars movies right now because Rise of Skywalker just came out. You just saw it. It's fresh
Yeah.
on your mind.
Yeah.
You're getting all the feels and all that."
Yeah,
He's like, wait a couple of months, a year or two, watch it a few more times. He goes, and then you're going to realize what you really think about it, and that's actually very true.
That's what happened in the middle of the pack.
Yeah.
And is it
Like,
just?
I know
is
it's
it just-
better than
sorry.
some, but it's not as good as others.
Is it just movies, or do we just go like all out and like, okay, there's the Ewok TV movie, there's the holiday special, there's the Clone Wars.
Did you?
What's Rebels? Clone Wars Rebels, and isn't there another one?
There's this
Something
resistance.
about the Resistance. Yeah.
That's a horrible show. Don't even bother watching that.
Really?
Well, it's made for kids.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right, guys. So we gotta. Are you all finished up?
Yeah, I think so.
All right,
I
so
can't go. one
We
thing
have a
without
couple
another.
questions.
Yeah, let's go into questions.
Yes, questions.
Somebody asked.
Comments.
Ray asked. Oh, this is a sad one. When Harrison Ford dies, will he be more known for Star Wars or Indiana Jones? Why or why not? That's a rough one to think about.
Actually, no.
Being known for being the president on Air Force One.
Jack Ryan.
There's no question. I don't even think it's close. It's Han Solo, especially
Yeah.
because with all the stuff that's going on with Star Wars right now, how fresh it is in everybody's minds, and
I think
the stench that Indiana Jones 4 left on everybody. I just think that everybody sees him as Han Solo.
I think that's also one of the reasons why he hated that character so much. I don't know if he hated the character, but I know that he wanted
No, he
the
didn't
character
hate
to
it.
die.
He has said in several interviews he loves playing in the Star Wars universe and all that, but he said he does.
I didn't think it was any more to do.
Yeah, that's basically what it was. He said he goes, I didn't feel like there was anything left for my character to do. He goes, and they just keep throwing stuff, and it's like really y'all now. It just seems like y'all are just making stuff up. Is what he said somebody in an interview, and I'm with him. I was like, if there's nothing there, then don't just keep adding on to it. You know?
Can I throw another one in there? What about Decker from Blade Runner? Because that was almost until the last one came out, it was a one and done. So it was almost like
Still,
Boba Fett.
people don't know him. Though.
Really?
No.
Not as much.
I know a lot of people that have still never even seen Blade Runner.
I
Don't even
love
know what it
Blade
is.
Runner. I
Don't even
love
know what
Blade
it
Runner.
is.
I knew about Blade Runner before I'd ever even seen it, just because
This is sad.
And I guess that's
Mike
'cause
went
it's
to the store one time for my birthday a while back, like a long time ago, and Blade Runner had just come out with I can't remember what anniversary.
2049.
The original Blade Runner.
Oh, the final.
And,
cut.
Final cut.
I couldn't find it anywhere. Nobody for some reason had it. Hastings didn't have it. No. Best Buy didn't have it. Walmart didn't. Nobody had it except for Hastings, but I hadn't gone to Hastings. Mike went and got it for my birthday for me, and I'm not even kidding. This is what he said. I was like, bro, you didn't have to go buy this for me. He goes, well, now you got the whatever, all Ultimate Edition, Director's Cut, whatever you call it, of this Blade Runner movie and all that. And he goes, bro, when I got there, he goes, I didn't even know what to look for. I never even heard of the damn thing. And he goes, I just told him, I was like, some space movie with Harrison Ford that's not Star Wars. That's all he knew. He goes, that's all I'm
Would you
going
consider it a space movie? I wouldn't. I would say
Fine.
future.
That's what he
No,
called
no,
it.
yeah,
That's
but
what
it
he
was
called
just one
it
of those
back
things
then.
I was thinking about. I was like,
Well, yeah, because I don't know.
That's why 2049 didn't do anything at the box office.
I love
They did not promote
2049.
it. They didn't market it. Nobody knew what it was. They're like, what is this?
2049 was a beautiful movie.
It was a good movie. I
They don't
liked it, but they didn't market it right.
So we just got, my in-laws got Tristan and I a 60-inch 4K television.
Yeah.
Really?
Bro,
Must be
20.
nice.
Damn.
Well, it is what it is. But we didn't expect it to
It
be
is what it is.
because she asked us.
It's awesome.
My mother-in-law asked us,
Thanks,
"Hey,
Brenda.
we want to." Yeah, Brenda. There you go, Brenda. She asked me, saying that she wants to get a new TV for Dale. What TV would you recommend? And I was
She
like,
pulled the Jedi mind trick.
she did.
Yeah.
This is not the TV you're looking for. I told her, I was like, look, if it was me, 4K TV all day.
Yeah.
Everything's heading into 4K. That's
And beyond.
and yeah, 4K and beyond. Because there's 8K out there, but the
Yeah.
human ratio in the eyes, we can't detect the difference between a 4K and an 8K just yet. But I was like,
Content.
yeah, I was like, just go with I recommend a 4K. You can watch the sports and stuff like that. But because he really won't know much the difference, and he doesn't have the setup for it.
Yeah.
Just go with the 60 1080p,
Yeah.
Samsung or Vizio or Sony.
Sony.
Yeah, because Sony makes the best with the LEDs, but she got the 4K TV. So I've been popping in, I just got a 4K player, so just popping everything in on 4K. Star Wars isn't out in 4K though. I tried looking at that Best Buy. Star Wars is not out in 4K.
No.
Disney Plus, it's out on 4K, but it's not out on 4K on disc yet.
If you have an Apple TV that you hook up to one of those, it will automatically make any movies that you have digital code for and make them into 4K.
Really?
Yeah. So even if you buy like the regular Blu-ray and it has the code, you can still get it in 4K.
I cannot wait. Now that we're talking about 2049 too, I cannot wait to get home and watch Blade Runner 2049 on 4K.
gosh.
We watched Once Upon a Time in Hollywood last night.
Yeah.
That movie looks pretty good in 4K.
I bet.
So, and plus we were up last night playing Red Dead Redemption and a couple other games.
Mhm.
It looks good.
The new versions that have the digital code with it aren't in 4K?
No,
Wow.
it's either 720 if you buy it on DVD
It's just
or
regular Blu-ray.
yeah, 1080p.
What's the deal? What are they waiting for?
Because they have 4K on Disney Plus, so Disney wants you to subscribe
Oh.
to Disney Plus to get that 4K. If any of you guys out there have 4K, not 4K, Disney Plus, do you watch anything in 4K? Because I know some of their movies transfers over to 4K. And if so, do you think it's worth having a 4K player or Disney Plus to be able to watch certain movies in 4K? Is that
That's just a bonus, I think.
you think
I
so?
think it's just a bonus.
How about you, Chris?
Doesn't make any difference to me. I'll watch anything on anything.
There you go. Andy, how about you?
The 27-disc 4K Blu-ray box set is ready for pre-order.
Yes, I already pre-ordered that at work. It's going to be $329. But
It
it's
says
going to be
4K.
Yeah, it's going to be
Unless it has the non-special editions, I probably won't.
it's going to be
That's going to be a whole nother $300 set.
I already pre-ordered
I don't know
it
how
at
many
work.
times I bought the original trilogy.
I pre-ordered it.
I think I might have gotten
DVD.
it VHS twice. Then when it came out on DVD, and then when it came out on Blu-ray, I have yet to buy it again on Blu-ray because I've got Disney Plus, and I can.
They've been showing the special editions on TNT for the original trilogy. They look awful.
Yeah, they
Really?
do.
It was
Yeah,
awful.
they look bad. All right, guys.
Can't stand it. Especially when the stormtroopers are walking through the desert on those animals. Oh my god!
Any more questions?
As we about to end our show here, I don't see any more questions coming through. Let's just say our final thoughts. If you rate it on a scale of 1 to 10 for this movie, Andy, we'll start with you.
I'm going to give it 10 just because I loved it. And like you said, I still got the feels.
You got the feels?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm cheesy. I can't help it.
I'm going to rate it a 9.5.
Blasphemy. No, I'm just kidding.
9.5. It's fair.
Yeah.
It's very fresh on my brain. I have it as my
I'm
number
just
one.
playing.
My number second movie right now.
Number two.
Number two.
Number second.
Number second. Number
Number
two.
B.
Number second.
I thought it was definitely a better wrap up to a trilogy than
The best wrap up for any trilogy.
not
Star Wars
I mean,
trilogy.
not as good as Harry Potter's wrap up, but I
Well,
mean,
I'm not talking about Harry
definitely
Potter. I'm
better
talking
than
about for the
Twilight.
Star Wars.
I've never seen Twilight.
but I mean, out of the Star Wars
You
wrap
don't
up,
want to.
for-
If you didn't like Last Jedi, you're gonna hate Twilight.
out of the last wrap up, out of any of the wrap ups for the original trilogy, the prequel, the sequel trilogy, I would say this is the best wrap up out of all of them.
Okay. I'm going to rate it 6, 5, or 7.
6, 5, or 7.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. How about you, Chris?
5.
Wow, you're going at us.
Yeah.
Woo.
Wow.
Because there's a lot of issues with the movie. There's a lot of plot holes. The Emperor thing was completely ridiculous. Yeah, look, all I'm saying is if everybody wants to like shove that under the carpet and run like, oh, it's okay, we'll let it pass. It's a Star Wars movie. That's fine.
What is it?
But I'm a realist. The issue with the Emperor in the movie was ridiculous. Like, there's no reason to bring him back. They didn't even explain how he survived or why he's back.
right.
It was completely shoot into the movie for fan service, and it did not work. And the whole thing at the end with her killing him and all that completely negates
Wait,
everything.
okay,
he did in
let's
Return of
talk
the
about.
Jedi.
I know, real quick. I know we're ending. That's one thing I want to talk to you about. That the only Jedi in the history that knows how to reflect lightning like that and was trained was Mace Windu. Ray,
Yoda did it. Yoda did it.
Yoda did it.
did he?
Yes.
Yeah. He did it with his
Obi-Wan
lightsaber,
did.
and then he did it
Obi-Wan
with
did.
his hand.
Yeah.
Obi-Wan did it too.
Yeah, with his lightsaber in Attack of the Clones.
Okay. All right.
When-
Once
when
again,
did
I'm
that-
wrong.
When did that
Yeah.
happen?
I'm wrong.
Attack of the Clones. Him and Dooku.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Dooku had lightning? Oh, Dooku. I was thinking of Grievous.
Dooku.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Come
Then that's when he
Okay.
tells him, he goes, Yoda holds you in such high regards. I'm a little disappointed.
Right. All right, guys. So that's going to end our show for today. I know I said we weren't going to do any show because of the holiday break, but you know what?
We had to do it.
We had to talk about
Yeah.
Star Wars. So, Andy, where can people find you on social media?
Joseph Crow on Facebook.
All right. Dom Chiodo on Facebook and drop a like Dom on any other social media. Carter?
On Johnny Two Chips on Instagram.
And Chris, how about you, man?
Facebook, YouTube, everything, Twitter, Instagram. Well, actually, I'm probably going to delete my Instagrams pretty soon.
Before you go out, I'm sorry, just don't go out yet.
Don't go out?
Yeah,
Okay.
because how did you find that video?
What video?
The Yoda
Oh.
video.
Oh, my God.
Oh, I got a little something to say about that.
Yo. Okay, real fast. You can find me on Twitch. I was driving to do our show at Papa Rolo's from last week, and my buddy from Pennsylvania sent me a text message, and he's like, dude, is this you? I was like, what are you talking about? And he sent it to me, and it's me driving in traffic with the huge Yoda that I had. And apparently I'm at 40 million views right now, so Apparently that's where it's at on TikTok. So
Okay.
I'm going viral on somebody else's channel right
Yeah.
now. But yeah. All right, guys. So that's it. May the force be with you, and we'll see you soon.
I got it.
Is Jimmy still here?